Hey, everybody. How we doing? Wonderful break. Anybody do anything exciting on the break?
I went to New York.
What you do?
Hung out with my friends and just had a good time for a couple days.
And so you kicked it? Meaning party, you know.
Yeah, casually.
Okay.
I don't go too hard. I'm a responsible citizen.
There you go. You tell it on yourself. When you got to say that, you say it. You say it. Anybody else? What you do, man?
I went to Netherlands for a day.
Netherlands.
Netherlands. It's like
Oh.
30 minutes into the mountains.
Okay. I'm thinking the Netherlands. That's what I thought you said, Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Is it cool?
Yeah, it's cool. A little smaller than Estes.
All right. Anybody else? Ain't nobody do nothing exciting? Had to do a documentary, so I had to film for 2 days straight. It was, when you got to dig up all them old emotions and old things that transpired, it's kind of tough to, because I tell you, when I talk, I see. So when I'm talking, I'm seeing what transpired, and that's tough to kind of go back in those days and those times. But anyway, wonderful week this week. Can't wait to get on the field on Saturday. Seems like we've been away from it for a while. Coach Dillingham, love him to life, man. One of my classmates. We came in at the same time. What he's done for that program is unbelievable. Well deserved. I think he was the Big 12 Coach of the Year, right?
Yes, sir.
Well deserved. Should have ran away with it. Should have even been close last year for what he did with the program and what he's doing with that program. I applaud him tremendously. His character, the consistency, what he's asking for his young men, and they got a quarterback down, and he's still fighting through the storms. And we were close to being on the same sideline at one point. We had a tremendous amount of conversations alluding to that, but he is one of my favorites. So I'm proud. I'm happy for the opportunity to play against his team this week, and it's going to be fun because I got love for the coach and everything he exudes for that program. Anytime we're recruiting a kid and they're in the runnings for you, first of all, I never talk negative about a program, but I always speak highly about his program to other kids that may not choose us per se. Students of the week, Reggie Hughes. Tough defense, Tough defense. Guys get after it. Secondary is pretty darn good. Front four is very stout. Offensively, they want to run the heck out of the football. They haven't had a lot of success with this gentleman throwing the ball. We recall him from a couple years ago when we played against Nebraska, correct? Same quarterback, same guy, same DNA. But what they're doing with him has been phenomenal over the last couple games. Students of the week, Reggie Hughes, Tunica, Mississippi. Noah King, Hamilton, Ohio. Students of the week, this week, Tavian Coleman from Humble, Texas. I like that word, Humble, Texas. Joseph Williams from Arlington, which is one of the guys I got to keep my hand around his throat, but I love him. Miss Jelanius, Peggy, 101st birthday is Wednesday. Is that unbelievable? We got to give her some love, respect, appreciation. We come from different generations, but the love that I have for her is undarn believable. She's consistent with who she is. Her memory is sharp as a tack. Just always pleasant, always with a smile, always has something profound and peaceful to say to me. And I need her right now. No, I'm just joking. She just she brightens up your day. 101 years old Wednesday. So let's make sure we tweet, post, or do something. Happy birthday for her coming tomorrow. Juju was phenomenal last game. Second most yards for a true freshman starting in CU history. Amarion has been Amarion. Mata, despite his miss, CU record 105 straight PATs. Preston Hodge leads the Big 12 in pass defenses. Leads the Big 12 in pass defense and ranks fourth in FBS with 1.3 per game. Quentin Gibson ranks fourth in NCAA versus the Big 12 in combined kick return yards with 571. That only means we get our butts kicked and they score, and that's all what that means. Other sports, soccer. I love my soccer guys to life, man. I'm so proud of them. Wow. in the NCAA tournament and heads to Michigan State to play Xavier on Thursday in the second round. CU beat Utah Valley on Friday to set a new program record for wins, 16-3-3. They are balling. Volleyball, love them to life as well. It's now 21-6 and 11-4 in the Big 12 with 3 matches left in the regular season. They head to West Virginia Wednesday. As well, cross country, the men's and women's teams both finished fourth at the Mountain Regional Championships and both qualified for the NCAA Championships, which will take place Saturday in Missouri. Men's basketball is flat out balling. Women's basketball, I love my girl to life. She is a coach. She coaches her butt off as well. 2-1, only losses at number 22 Louisville. They almost won that. So the other sports are doing wonderful here, and they're great. Let's jump right to Rick. I love Rick to life. I don't feel like I'm losing him because I feel like he's still going to be a part of the program. He didn't leave because of what's transpiring this year. It was already a plan in place that Rick was going to step away from his original post, but he's going to still help the program. I love him. I mean, I wouldn't be here without him, and we've talked extensively for a while about this decision that he's making, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be in good hands. They've already started the search, and they already started some wonderful things. So I'm pretty sure with what I know from the persons I'm in contact with here, they're going to make a great selection. So I don't doubt that by any means. Let's go.
Thank you, Ed.
Hi, Coach. I'm doing well. Nikki Edwards, Yahoo Sports. At this point in the season, how do you balance preparing for game day as well as preparing for the future?
Game day is the future. I mean, you win. It helps the future. You work hard. You go at it hard. It's no different. I mean, the thing about it, the preparation shouldn't be different if you were winning, if you're getting your butts kicked. It shouldn't be. The record, to me, is not indicative of who these young men are, who these coaches are in between this wall, who this program is. We just the ball's just been bouncing our way, and we got to do something about it, and we're going to do something about it as soon as the season is over. So it is what it is. That's the way it is right now. It is what it is. But we're going to make the best of it. We're not going to hang our heads and have no pity party. We're going to go about it like we're playing for a darn championship.
Hey, Coach. Pat Graham.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Two-part question first. First of all, any plans to go to Vegas to see a certain Browns quarterback on Sunday?
Don't know. Haven't made that decision as of yet. I'm so focused on what we have at hand. I'm not thinking about that, although I just got off the phone with him a minute ago. But I'm really focused on what we have at hand.
Okay, and my real question is, given everything that's transpired with you this year, you know, you're overcoming cancer and the losses.
Right.
What has kind of reaffirmed your desire to keep doing this?
This is what I do. This is who I am. If a loss can influence me to shut it down, so what does a win influence me to do? Like, I got to rock steady. I got to be the same guy. And I think I have been. I think I come and present to you guys win or loss. You know, I'm a little more up apparently because of a W, but I don't dismiss you guys and not talk to you guys and not shoot you guys the truth in any situation. So it is what it is, man. You just got to rock steady. I don't teach these young men to be influenced by good day, bad day. You got to make the day your day.
Brian, go ahead.
Cool.
Hey, Coach. Brian Howell, the Daily Camera. Have two questions for you. One, just follow up from Rick.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have had a great relationship, obviously. How valuable is it for the football coach to be in line and in step with administration, whether it's the chancellor, the AD?
I think it's proper. I've never had it any other way. When I was at Jackson State, Ashley Robinson was my guy. He's still my guy. I just spoke to him yesterday. I love him to life. Rick is always going to be my guy. So that's apparent because you're like hand in hand. But he had to do what was best for him, man, and his family, and I'm happy for him, man. His beautiful grandchildren, so I'm happy for them. I really am.
I mean, like going forward, is that a valuable thing for you to have for that next AD as well?
What, a relationship?
Yeah,
Yeah, I would like that. You would love that. You don't want anybody to come in here that you're at odds with, and I'm not at odds with anybody. Like I'm not built like that to just be messy and nasty and hateful. Why? I mean, I'm blessed. I'm so blessed, too blessed to be stressed. I don't function like that in ignorance and animosity. I don't move like that.
I do want to ask you one question about this team.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first week that bowl game carrot is not there for this team
Right.
anymore. Have you seen, as you've come back from the break, that there's still that motivation and that want
Yeah.
to?
I asked a question in the meeting room this morning. I said, out of all the groups that we have, meaning cornerbacks, linebackers, receivers, so forth, who's going to take it up a notch today? And 3 groups popped up. So I put it on. I think the linebackers and the receivers stood up first, so they say it's on them. They went out there and worked their butts off today. They had great days. So I ask the team that every day, and each group stands up. They're accountable for what transpires on that practice field. And those guys popped up quick with the quickness, and they had a good day.
Coach Jack Carlo, good
Jack,
to see you again.
my man.
How's it going?
Excellent.
Kind of similar to Brian's question, just outside of obviously wanting to get another win or two, just
Right.
what does finishing strong look like to you?
Winning, quarterback developing, offensive line doing their jobs, defense staying stout, not giving up nothing deep, nothing cheap, getting to the ball, being physical, because not only are you want to win, but you're evaluating. You're evaluating young men as well as the staff. Like, where do you go? So you're doing a lot of evaluations when it's coming down the home stretch, and you want to see that passion. Anybody could be happy and enthusiastic and got that fight in them and that dog in them when it's all up. But when it goes left, that's when you take an eye and look at the room and see how you guys move and see how you think and see how you get down. And is there consistency, or were you waiting to attack the whole time? So it's like that with the young men. I look for a plethora of things in these guys.
Hi, Coach Adam Wilson Tiger, 24/7
What's going on, Adam?
Sports. Not much with Juju. What have you seen out of him since that start? Has that kind of been a springboard for him?
Growth, yeah, because now you've gotten out there, you're seeing how it is. You got to lay of the land. Some of the mistakes you made, we don't expect you to make those again, because now you understand what we want. You got game action, you got live action, you understand where the blitz is coming from, what they're going to do to you. We got packages for that. We got things implemented in those calls. When you feel hot, you feel heat, let's get out of it. Let's go to something else. And you know what we got to do on first downs and how valuable that is. You know, young quarterbacks come in, sometimes they think it's 7-on-7. Because 7-on-7 is taking over the country right now with high school football and whatever. So they got to understand, no, this is football. You got to get a little bit at a time and move the chains, and not just chunks. So you can't think like that. And he's doing a great job of maturing and understanding how to study film.
Hey, Coach. Jake Schwannis, DMV.
What's up, Jake?
Not much. How are you doing?
Good.
I wanted to ask you about Yo-Yo. I mean, we talked to him last week, and
Yeah.
he made the Big 12 Team of the Week and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Just how rewarding is that to see a guy like that really develop in such a short amount of time?
It's great because I bet on Yo-Yo. What I mean by bet, I don't actually put money like that. I'm not a betting man. I'm too cheap to bet. But when I say I believe this kid is going to ball out, watch this. That's what I mean by betting on somebody. And Yo-Yo has proved me right. He's proved me right because it's easy to ride with somebody who has a work ethic. A guy don't have a work ethic, I'm not putting my name by him. I'm not riding with him. I'm not betting on him. Yo-Yo has the work ethic, and he wants to be great. Not good. He wants to be great. And he's flat out hilarious. He don't have bad days around here. He's like that Ben attitude. They don't have bad days. They make everything they face happy. They're those guys that infuse happiness and joy in their teammates. Love Yo-Yo.
Scott, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. How
What's
you
going
doing?
on, boss?
Not too much. Scott Proctor at DMVR. You mentioned, one of the things you're looking for these next couple weeks is quarterback development, and you touched a little bit on Juju. Now that he kind of has the first start out of the way, what's kind of the next step, maybe the next obstacle that he's going to have to overcome?
I'm understanding what he sees and ride with it and taking what they give him and let that be it. But we got to be much better on first downs. I've had initiatives since day one. We got to be better. First downs, we're trying to get 4 or 5 yards on first downs. When you don't, now you're behind the chains and it's tough. Now you got to try to get 5 to 6 on the next down to make a palatable third down. But this kid is starting to understand the game a lot more mentally, psychologically. Physical tools it is what it is. He has it. But really understanding the game and how it's played from the defensive coordinators to our coordinators to the personnel that he has around him.
Just one follow-up. From your perspective, what's the key to staying on schedule on first down and making sure you put yourself in advantageous, second and short or
Being
second and
creative.
medium?
Being creative and understand what we have. Do you understand what we have on offense? Like, it's hard to deal with 4. 9 can fly. 8 can do his thing. We got a tight end that this kid can really play. I mean, I'm talking about he can really play.
Zach?
Yeah, and we just have not gotten him in the situations that we should have, but this kid can flat out play. I think this kid has pro ability. The line has been suitable and valuable. They've had ups and downs a little bit in the season here and there, but for the most part, these guys have been blocking their butts off, and we got running backs that can run. So with all that I just said, we should move the ball, and we should have some consistency in that.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach, Tyler King with the Denver Gazette. You mentioned kind of all the evaluating you're due at this point of the season. How valuable was the week off to do some of that, whether it's from coaching staff to roster management, all that kind of stuff?
Weeks off are great when you got a ton of injuries like we do, and you hope to get guys back. And some of those guys should make it back this week. Some of those guys may not. We have an injury bug for sure, but we're hoping the guys that really love it, really want it, are going to go out there and give it a shot and do what they're capable of doing. But sometimes you don't want a bye week, man. Sometimes you just want to ride. You want to just roll with it. You want to go. You want to go. But I think it's great for our quarterback to get some time away. He didn't even go home. He stayed here and just hammered. I think he had an hour worth of film time before we left. We come back, he has 9 hours. That's what you want to see.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're doing well. I saw you were test riding this weekend. Did you find anything you were looking for?
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
I did, but it was a little rough.
Is that right?
Yeah, I forgot that my groin had
Right.
surgery, and the horse was playing pool.
I got you.
The horse I was on was playing pool. I'm just telling you.
I got you. I appreciate it.
Read between the lines.
I saw that you did a sit-down with Mr. Champ Bailey, and I was watching that. And you told Champ that you missed at a few spots this year, which, look, nobody bats 1,000.
You know the thing about I'm starting to stopping you, but I got to interject right there. I'm brutally honest with y'all, man. I tell y'all the truth. You can't get upset or attacked when I tell you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. That's what happens. That's what happens with everybody. Like, think about all these other teams that were supposed to do this. When they don't do this, you can't just. God is giving me something. I'm just trying to compute it and give it to you. I hadn't forgotten how to coach in a year. Like I hadn't forgot how to coach in a year. A lot of these wonderful coaches out there that is not winning this season, they hadn't forgotten how to coach in a year. We did some things we should have done. That's on us. It's on us.
And I appreciate that honesty, for sure.
Yeah.
And I guess the reason why I bring that up is because I'm curious. I mean, putting myself in that position, if I feel like I were to have missed, I would want to do things maybe differently or learn from that.
Exactly.
In player evaluation, what have you learned from this year?
God, I can't say what I want to say.
Appreciate it.
Let me try to give it to you in a way I can say it. I know what I want. I know what I should see. And this year I'm going to see it. That's the best way I could place it to you. I'm going to see it. No ifs and buts about it. I'm going to see what I want to see.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Great question, my man. You always come up with some good stuff.
Coach Shane Holcomb, Scobo Sports. It's good to see you. With the transfer portal, becoming this fluid marketplace, recruiting and retention's become new recruiting, right? And so as the season comes to a close these next few weeks, what do those conversations look like with some of those players maybe looking to, take a step away from Colorado?
Well, say the last part again. I'm sorry.
What do those conversations look like with some players looking elsewhere?
Well, you don't know. You gotta. You hate to use the word assume. You gotta kind of predict that you may lose 10 to 12%. You gotta predict that at certain positions. You know what you could lose. First of all, we know people that know people that know people, so we know who's talking to who's what. We know that because that's just the way the ball bounces. But we're prepared for everything. It's not like if this happens, that was a surprise. No, it's not. That was a decision that we knew you would make because that's who you are. But also, it's decisions that we're going to make because that's who we are. So you got to do what's best for your roster. You got to do what's best for your team, what's best for the players that are very impactful. You got to put something around them to make sure they could blossom, and you got to make sure these coaches have what they need to work with.
Coach,
and we're going to do that. I promise you that.
Brandon Cristal from Gorilla Sports. I have
Yes,
two
sir.
quick ones for you. First is, we know it's a question of when, not if, but can you take us in the emotions of Shador going into the game and just as you're watching it as a dad?
I was in the office alone. I told him this past week that he was going to play. It's going to be one way or another. I thought the Ravens would have played better early on to provoke him getting in. I didn't want him to get in by injury because I'm fond of Dylan and I want him to be successful as well. But I didn't want that to happen. But getting in the way he did, I know there's going to be some inconsistencies of a lot of things because I know football. But I was happy for him just getting the opportunity and running on that field because I know the fight behind the fight. Yeah, if I can say that modestly. I know what's been transpiring behind the curtains. And I'm just proud of him because he's not just saying the right things, he's doing and living the right things. That's just who he is. And I'm glad through trials and tribulations there has been a consistency of the thread that he's been speaking. And just like the things you guys heard for a couple years, that's who he is. And they keep trying to make him out to be somebody else, but he is who he is. He's a Sanders.
Sorry, and then you said you know some of the names that the administration is looking at. How involved would you like to be? The landscape has changed of what a AD is these days versus what it was, when you were in school. So
Right.
how much do you want to be involved in the process as they're narrowing?
I want to coach football and win football games. That's what I want to do. I don't need. I could be involved as much as they want me to. I'm not that kind of guy that I gotta have say. I'm not built like that. Contrary to what anybody would think. I love this game. I love these young men, and I just want this program to be the best it can be. I'm pretty sure they're going to make a wise decision. We have a chancellor and a president that's on their game. They're on their game. They know what they're doing.
Go ahead,
Ryan Scholes from Ralph Report. Hope you had a good bye week. You spoke a little bit in your opening statement about Jeff Sims and your guys' familiarity with him after that Nebraska game 2023. When you watch the tape of him in this Kenny Dillingham offense, what stands out to you outside of his mobility?
They're using his skill set. They're using his skill set to make sure he's successful, this offense is successful, and they're using him the best way they possibly can and trying to highlight his strengths, not his weaknesses. And they're doing a great job of it. They really are.
Two more, Brady, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Brady King, Denver 7. You mentioned knowing Shador was going to play. Do you offer him any advice that you'd be willing to share
I'm his
with
dad.
us?
I'm his dad. So, of course, because I know football and I know him and I know what I see and I know some stuff behind the curtain. So I offer him not just on the field advice, off the field advice, life advice, because he's going through a lot right now. A lot of stuff is coming at him. And he's doing a great job. Thank God that God prepared him for everything he's dealing with. I mean, I think a lesser man would have crumbled. But he's been built for this. And who else is built for the adversity like he is, like going into the NFL? I don't think it's too many quarterbacks that are built like that for the adverse situations and not having the best of things to happen around him. I think we've always done that. We've never had the best of anything, Set aside lifestyle, I tried my best to do what a father should do. But when it came to playing on the field, we never had the best of this, the best of that. But we've made the most of this and the most of that. I applaud the young man, man. I'm just proud of him. I'm proud of him. We're trying to buy a house together right now. That's what we're trying to do. So the hiccups in that because we go back and forth. He wants to master. I say, well, put more in.
And then Ben, senior day, sorry, switching to your team. Guys like Arden Walker, what will it mean to you just to see them take the field one last time?
Emotional. I don't know how I'm going to act. Arden and all those guys are great, but you got to let's go back to some of the guys that has taken this journey with me the entire time, like Mata, like JB, and some of these guys, man. That's to see my little Mata run on the field probably for his last time at home, man. That's tough. JB, because I'm seeing these guys as freshmen, and I saw them come in at Jackson, man, and they bet on me. They bet on me, man. They took a chance on me, and I applaud that. And I pray to God that I have not disappointed them as a man, as a coach, as a leader. Those are the things that make the most sense to me. Because when this game is over, they got to carry these meetings, these talks, these conversations that we've had, and I pray to God that I've done my job to prepare them for life. And I love them. But those it's going to be tough seeing some of these guys run on that field for the last time.
Last one, John, go ahead.
John Dreech, 9 News. Coach, you've hit on all the unique forms of adversity that have happened this year, whether it be your health, the losing, the AD leaving. They're all happening at once. What kind of challenge is that for you?
I think God spread them out a little bit. They didn't hit me once. I think God, He allowed this. Like so. I'm. Please understand. If anybody is built for adversity, I am. If anybody is built for change, I am. If anybody is built to overcome situations and trial and tribulations, I am. You got the right man. I promise you do. And I'm going to prove that to you. I am. Just give me an opportunity and give me a little more time, and I'm going to prove that to you. I will. I promise you that.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you. God bless. All right. Is that horse even alive, man? Was it? Oh, my God. That's what you call it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, when you're surgery, I just assume getting on it. I mean, that's.
But I forgot.
I
forgot until.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if you get more than a walk.
Oh, my God. Like the one, I got on 2 different ones. One was this. The other one, one was a Tennessee Walker. The other one was any horse people in here? Yeah. One called Foxtrot. What is that? What is that? Fox.
I don't know.
When he had his gait was fast. They were my favorite. He said his gait was, when he had that gait, he was rolling.
But I mean, they were bigger one too.
No, we had like 12 of them. Oh my God! But I didn't know. It was interesting. And like a bunch of black people with horses, trust me.
See you later, Indiana Jones. My fault.
What about Tonto?
I don't even know who that is. How we doing, guys? Good. Hey, Wizzy.
Adam, you want to start us off?
Sure.
Hey, Ben, senior day coming up. What do you think your emotions are going to be like on Saturday?
Yeah, so it's actually not going to be my last game in Folsom because I have another year. But it's going to be emotional seeing a lot of my friends go. Obviously, we got a lot of seniors on our team, and guys like Arden and JB and Mata and guys that I've been around for a few years now. It's going to be sad to see them go. But yeah, it's not going to be my last day, so I'm looking forward to that.
Go ahead, Matt.
With that, what have you learned from this year that you want to help kind of instill in next year's team,
Yeah, I've learned so much from this year, and especially what it takes to be the leader that you need to be. I think that's definitely the biggest thing that I've taken away from this year is how much my role has to increase as a leader, because that's really what you need. Like, the competitive spirit has to come every single day, and pushing the people around you has got to come every single day, and it's got to start with how I play and how I bring out the best in the people around me. So I think, obviously there's a lot more, but to narrow it down, I got to step it up as a leader and be more vocal about things that shouldn't happen and things that should happen and that kind of stuff. So,
because that's been a consistent theme that we've heard all year, like lack of leadership. Everybody said it. So has it been glaring to you?
It's one of the things that's been pressing on my heart. That's what God called me to do. I was, that's the personality that I was made for. That's the heart I was made for, was to be a leader. And I wasn't a good enough leader this year, and that's part of the reason that we are the way that we are. I take full responsibility because I haven't played the role good enough to win enough games, and so part of that's on me. But it's something's got to change with me. So it starts with me. Yeah.
Hey, Ben, Tyler King with the Denver Gazette. Just curious, when did you find out you were going to get an extra year, and kind of did that flip a switch for you? I'm sure you were all in on this season, but did that flip a switch about looking forward to the future and what you guys can build for next year?
Yeah, most definitely. I think I found out in May. I just haven't told any of you guys. But yeah, so I've known for quite a while that this wasn't going to be my last year. But it's definitely exciting, obviously, because, this season hasn't gone exactly the way I had hoped, and there's a lot of things that I wish I could do over that I didn't quite do correctly. But, the good thing is I got one more shot at it, and I'm going to leave it all out there, and a lot of things are going to change, and that's what I'm looking forward to. So,
just following up on that, you mentioned the leadership. Does that kind of translate to the offseason and trying to keep this group together? Because obviously what you guys have building, especially with some of the young guys that have played well the last couple of weeks, do you want to take a hands-on approach to trying to keep everybody here?
Yeah, most definitely. Obviously it's a different ball game now, and a lot of people are going to choose to make their own decisions. And you know what? We'll do it with or without you. That's the thing. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a new thing, obviously, with the transfer portal and having one session and all that kind of stuff. But I'm looking forward to the guys that are going to choose to we're going to turn this thing around, and we're going to be different, and we're not going to follow the crowd. So it's going to be a super cool thing. So.
Hey, Ben, Brian Howell, the Daily Camera. A couple questions for you. You've unfortunately been through other seasons like this where you guys aren't going to bowl games. Mm-hmm. What's the challenge of getting the team motivated to play when that bowl game carrot's not there anymore?
Yeah, ruining other people's shot at a bowl game. That would be. I mean, me personally, I just hate losing. So that's enough of a motivation for me. But teams like Kansas State, I don't think they're quite at 6 wins yet. I can't remember exactly their record, stuff like that. But obviously Arizona State's bowl eligible. But why not take them out of the running for the Big 12 for the conference championship? So that's kind of the thing that would motivate me, and I hope it motivates a lot of guys. But yeah, that's kind of the mentality we got to have heading into these games. Is we don't want you to make this bowl game, or we don't want you to make the conference championship, and so that's going to be our mindset heading in.
And then. Put you on the spot. I'm going to ask you about this guy over here.
Yeah.
Both of you are Colorado guys, and
yeah.
This is his last home game. How much are you going to miss him and some of these seniors that you've played with, for whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4 years, whatever it is?
Yeah, no, Arden means the world to me, man. And we got, one of the people that he played with in high school is one of my best friends, and so I've, a couple of those guys that went to Cherry Creek, I've been around those guys for quite a while now, and a lot of them are super close to me, and they mean a lot to me. So. And other guys, other seniors like JB, Mata, like I said earlier, those kind of guys. It's going to be tough, seeing them go. I mean, me and JB that's my fishing buddy, that's my hunting buddy. Like, we do a lot of things together outside of here, and just going through some of the times that we've had to go through together. And those guys have always been there for me, and I've always been there for them. And that's the brotherhood thing. It'll never leave us, but unfortunately, there's a time that's going to come where it's everyone's last time playing out there. So it's love for the game, love for each other. So.
Hey, Ben, over here, sorry. Pat Graham, Associated Press. I guess given everything your head coach has gone through with the overcoming cancer and the losses a little bit, I guess what have you learned about him through this season?
He's a tough son of a gun, and he'll never quit. He's I don't think he even cares what happens to him, to be honest with you. You can't even tell that he's going through something, because he shows up every day with the same attitude, the same mentality, and he doesn't change his approach with anything. So he is who he is. It's just adversity to him, and it's just something you got to push through, and that's what I admire about him, because some things you just got to push through, and no matter what's going on. So yeah, tough son of a gun is what he is.
Ben, what's good, my boy? How you doing?
Good. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, bro. Coach Prime sometimes talks about leadership. Sometimes it's not as sweet as it looks, because when you kind of step out as a leader, you kind of put yourself on a pedestal, and people kind of look at you kind of at all times. How difficult is that kind of balancing being a leader and, obviously having your own stuff and own responsibilities to kind of worry about on the field and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough. You're the guy that, when the lights are bright, your name's getting called, but when the lights aren't so bright, you got to shoulder the blame and take it all. So it sucks at times, but the rewards that'll come from it, you can only benefit. And, through the highs and the lows, you're going to, it's not always going to be fun, but, you're going to learn a lot from it, and it's things that you can take into the rest of your life. So it's good.
One more thing, I was listening to Kenny Dillingham talk this week about, this Colorado team, and he was talking about just perspective about how people just see a win-loss record and fail to realize how far a program has come.
Mm-hmm.
For you as somebody who's been here as long as anybody on this team, in what way, I guess in the biggest way, has this kind of program, this place kind of changed from, let's say, 2022 to today?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I love Coach Dillingham, so it's pretty cool that he said that. I really respect him and look up to him. But, boy, this place has changed in ways that I cannot explain. But, yeah, there's been, like I said, there's been a lot of highs and lows, and we're on the gradual climb. And I know it may not look like that with our record right now, but there's a lot of things going on, and we're going to continue to get better. And I promise you that it will only go up from here. Especially heading into next season. And so that's why I'm really looking forward to what's to come, and just stay with us because it's going to be fun. So, yeah.
Hey, Ben. Jack Harlow, Buffs on SI. How's it going?
Jack Harlow.
Looking ahead to the future a little bit, with your safeties room in particular.
Yep.
Just how excited are you to kind of develop alongside guys like Tawfiq and John and TJ Branch? Just how excited are you for the future of that group?
Oh, I'm super excited. It's defensively, it starts with the safeties. And so, we're going to continue to progress, and we're going to get better, and that's going to bring the whole defense along, because it's got to come through our set of eyeballs, and it's going to be led through the safety room. And so, yeah, we got a bright future, and we're going to continue to push each other and get better, just like we have all season. And there's a lot to look forward to. So,
3 more, Matt. Go ahead.
Hey man. So, piggybacking off of what Scott and Brian were talking about, right? Like, okay, you don't have a bowl game to play for, and yeah, you got to look forward to the future with leadership and stuff like that. But here comes Juju, and you got 2 more games that could potentially really springboard you into the offseason, where they're going to hit the recruiting trail hard and all that. Is there an extra little sense of juice that's kind of been reinvigorated back in this group the last couple of weeks since he's taken over?
Most definitely. Obviously we didn't get the outcome we wanted against West Virginia, but there's a positive to bring out of it, and you guys saw the way that he played too. And so I hope that recruits are seeing that and are like, this kid's got a bright future, and understands the people that we have here. And it's a lot to lean on, and it's a lot to look forward to. And it gave me a huge light on the inside that, that this could really turn into something, because I'm excited for Juju. And like I was telling him, is you have a great opportunity, and you can show the world right now who you are with this opportunity that you're given. And so it's good. I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah.
How have you seen him grow throughout the course of the year? I mean, he came in at 17.
Yeah.
And now he's got the keys.
Yeah. No, he actually hated me in the spring because I was on his tail about little things and what it takes. And he actually came up to me this summer because I was like, "You changed, buddy." I would give him I probably shouldn't say this, but I would give the quarterbacks a depth chart based on their work ethic in the spring, and I put him bottom of the pack about every single day, and that's really why he hated me. But it got to him, and then this summer, I didn't have to be on his butt as much, and I was like, "Bro, I'm proud of you." And he was like, "You know what? Thank you," because he appreciated the fact that I was on him the whole time, and that I never gave up on him, and I gave him his props. I was like, "You come a long way, dog." And yeah, he's going to continue to get better. Obviously, he's super young, like, he damn near be my kid, but he's going to continue to get a lot better, and the lights are going to be bright for him. So I'm excited for Juju. It's going to be awesome. Yeah.
What's up, Ben? Jake Shaughnessy, DMVR. Just to kind of go with that, can you take us on the field? What's it like going to, lining up against Julian, defending his legs and the arm, and just the instincts and poise he has playing the game too?
Yeah. I think one of the things I'm really looking forward to this upcoming year is, as he gets more confident, you can tell he's got that fire and wants to talk smack. And heading into this, like, I love talking smack, and I love trying to get in people's, trying to chat with people. So he's got that. He's gonna want to talk back with me, and that's the thing is, when we're doing that, it's gonna elevate everyone around us. If you have a safety and a quarterback who are the two most competitive people on your team, you're gonna go a long ways. And so it's gonna bring the people around us up, and that's really what I'm looking forward to, is because he's starting to get to that point, and really me too, because this was like really my first year playing defensively. And now that I've, started a good set of games and played a good number on defense, and as Juju is going to get more comfortable too, like, it's going to build our confidence with each other, and it's going to be fun to just go, head to head with him every day. So it's going to be fun. Yeah.
There's a chance you could see one of your former teammates on the other side this week. Obviously, Tyson's turned into a pretty good player at Arizona State the last couple of years. I was just curious what you remember going up against him during his freshman year and kind of seeing his progress over the last couple of years now.
Yeah, no, JT's a talented kid, and I'm happy for him because it's obviously a guy to see him transfer and do well like that. It's cool to see. And there's obviously a couple other guys that played here too, like Kendrick Breedlove and Shimon Mateer, and I've stayed in somewhat contact with Breedlove too, so it's I'm excited to see him, and it's cool to see him balling too. But I hope JT is healthy and ready to play, and it's going to be a fun battle, and it'll be a homecoming for him, and so I'm sure it'll be a good moment for him too. So but it's cool to see what he's doing and what some of those guys are doing over there. So
Thanks, man.
yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all.
Nikki, you want to start us?
Hey, Arden, Nikki Edwards, Yahoo Sports. What are your emotions going into senior day and playing at Folsom one last time?
Honestly, I'm grateful. It's definitely kind of crazy to see how fast college went by, and obviously starting at Missouri and coming back home, and then also just starting with Coach Prime and going with him for these last 3 years. Definitely coming down to the wire, I guess, now. It's reality. So if anything, I was like, wow, I'm actually here now. So on top of that, especially being a legacy buff as well, like so much stuff on the line. And honestly, as I'm really thinking about it too, in terms of just like that team from the like that era of like the 90s and things like that, someone of like the last kids in that generation too, from like playing standpoint. So definitely got a lot on my shoulders, and put a chip on my shoulder this week. So.
Brian, go ahead.
Arden, with that, you didn't choose this place coming out of high school. You went to Missouri first and
Yeah.
made the decision to come here a couple years ago. Are you glad you did? And what's the journey been like for you to be here as a Buff?
Oh, 100%. I'm glad that I was able to get back into the black and gold for sure. I feel like I bet on myself coming out of Missouri back in 2023, and then I'm grateful that Coach Prime gave me a chance. And I think that obviously I made enough noise, and I'm able to take my game to where I want to go. So.
Jack Harlow, Buffs on SI. I asked Coach Prime this as well, but outside of getting another win or two, just what does finishing strong look like to you?
I mean, I feel like it's more about the win. I feel like we got to get 2 wins, and I honestly want to send my guys in the room that are seniors out the right way. Not only just me, but I feel like the people that also work with me every day. Like I want to send them out the right way, and then even some of the underclassmen, like just going to leave an impression on them too. So I just want to make sure that we're enjoying these last 2 weeks and we go out with a bang for sure.
Hey, Arden, Brandon Cristal, Guerrilla Sports. You obviously could have gone a bunch of places when you left Missouri, so how much pressure was there going to a place where your dad had so much success, and then what will the emotions be like for the whole family, not just for you, on senior day?
I mean, I didn't feel any pressure, to be honest. I felt like, if anything, was something my dad honestly told me was just, like, at the end of the day, it's your life, and you don't want to drive in the ship. So I feel like I just wanted to give myself the best opportunity and prove it to myself, if anything. But my parents are proud of me, my family, my goddad, like everybody who's coming to the game. They just want to see me do good, and they've been nothing but proud. There's been a smile on their face almost every week, despite how things have went. But I just want to continue to keep making them proud, if anything. So I'm just glad that they're here, and I'm very appreciative and very blessed to just be in this situation.
Hey, Arden, with this new era of the transfer portal and, kind of 1-year stints at a bunch of places, how important is it to have Colorado kids on Colorado's team?
Yeah, I mean, and then me getting in the portal from 3 years ago was totally different from how it is now. I mean, keeping it real, it's like free agency. So I think that's something that I have when I have talked to guys like from Colorado and they come up here and they're like exploring opportunities and stuff. Like I'm telling them, like, to be honest with you, how it's moving. First, when I came and I was getting into the portal and things like that, it's a way different game. And I want them to understand that coming out of high school, like, you really got to be on it. And I feel like, if anything, Coach Prime does give people opportunities to come play as an underclassman. So that's a plus from our program. And I want to say, like, if a Carl kid feel like they can play in their first year, I feel like take your chance. So I want them to stay home as much as they can. But like I said, at the same time, I just want people to be in the best situation possible too. So.
This means a lot to you, and obviously, coming back here and wearing that logo. We were
Right.
just talking with Ben about, the transition to Juju, and clearly you want to leave this place, and you want to leave this place in a good spot. How do you feel like things have kind of transitioned now that Julian's taken over and kind of heading off into the future?
I mean, I think when I seen Julian in the spring, it was like his growth from from a maturity side. It started from there, and like I think he stayed consistent from the season on. Like from fall camp, he was just getting his feel in terms of just transitioning to getting ready for the season, and then now like he's just been staying ready the whole time. So I'm just happy for him to he's very poised in the pocket. I feel like he stays pretty like calm and things like that, despite that he's only 17 years old. It's like, man. I see a lot in him. There's a lot of potential there, and I just want him to make sure he maximizes it, if anything. So, like I said, the maturity side is something that he definitely progressed through this whole season.
You feel like the program's in good hands and that he can handle the weight of what's coming on his shoulders?
For sure, he's ready for it. I could tell. I mean, like I said, since day one he came in, definitely relaxed, laid back kind of guy. Which I mean, we kind of got along as well. So I talk to him off the field all the time. So he's a real good kid. Like I feel like he's ready to play. If anything, he's hungry, and I can see it in his eyes. And obviously, you've seen when we played West Virginia, he made a couple plays that stood out. And then I think he got like PFF Player of the Week too. So man, like only way is up for sure. And I hope he does what he's supposed to do.
Arden, I know coming back here, I'm sure there was probably a lot of familiar faces you got a chance to see over the last couple of years. I knew you were close to Julian Hammond on the basketball side. Just how rewarding has the last 3 years been for you, just maybe reconnecting with people and building off relationships that you maybe started in high school?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool to see. Actually, Julian's coming to the senior game too. So, but I feel like coming back, just seeing familiar faces, and then even some people on campus that don't play like football or like whatever sport, just kind of reconnecting with them, and then making some of those connections I had in high school. Like I feel like it still went a long way. I think Cherry Creek. I always tell people it's like telling them I went there is like you went to Harvard almost in Colorado in a way. But I feel like from that side of just those connection sides, I enjoyed it, and I'm very appreciative because I still talk to people, and people are always showing me support and showing love. So, like I said, being a hometown kid and taking full advantage of it, I think that's what I did these last 3 years. And obviously, my face has been around places now too. So, it's been nothing but a blessing for sure.
Hey, Arden, Shane Holcomb, Scobo Sports. I talked to Coach Prime a little earlier about how retention kind of has become the new recruiting in college football, and you've obviously had those conversations in the past when it comes to the transfer portal. So I guess what's your message to some of these players who are a little bit on the fence right now of sticking with this Colorado project?
I feel like they got to trust the process in a way. I know it's easy just to jump and move and things like that, and sometimes you got to water your grass. Yeah, that's really what it's about. Like I feel like it's hard for me to say that, even though I did get in the portal and stuff like that, but if they do take that chance, it's like you still have to rebuild and do whatever you have to do. Because when I first got here, I still had to recreate myself and then reestablish myself when I got here. So, the guys who do have opportunities and they actually have been playing things like that, I want them just to kind of trust the process and see where they can go with it, because you never know what can happen. And so, I do want them to stay if they can and make the most of the situation. Because there's some good people on this staff that believe in our players and things like that too. So, like I said, everybody got to help everybody. That's how I feel about it.
Thanks, Arden. Appreciate it. We got one more for y'all. Carlson, you ready?
Hello. How's everybody doing? Good. Well, I'll let you guys grill me. Otherwise, I can ramble.
So to remind you, we finished fourth at both.
Yeah,
both
so
sides of regionals, and we have NCAAs on Friday.
Yeah,
Saturday, sorry.
quick summary. NCAA's this Saturday. Our men's team's ranked top 10 going in, and our women's team is ranked top 20 going in. Our men have the longest streak, active streak of qualifying for the national championship in men's cross country. So yeah, that's what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, just with NCAAs coming up this week, just what do you hope to see out of your squad on both sides?
Yeah, I think if we can beat our ranks, that's always kind of what we like to do. I think if our men are top 10, that's a very successful year, and if our women are top 20, that's a very successful year. This is year 2 for me, so it's been a journey, and we're kind of, I think, righting the ship and getting it going the right direction.
Excuse the ignorance of not having the most intimate knowledge of how this plays out, but from an NIL perspective, how are you affected, if at all?
Yeah, I think most Olympic sports are only affected by NIL because athletic departments are spending it all in non-athletic, right? It crunches the numbers for everyone when some of the ball sports are eating up a lot of the athletic department money. So it affects most track and cross country programs in that way. And there are a few track and cross country programs across the country that have that as a factor for them. But, those are very few, I would say. Yeah.
And how does it feel to be able to stand above that pack consistently
here? Yeah, there's track and cross country programs that'll have $500,000 in NIL, and we'll beat them tomorrow or Saturday. So that's always kind of fun.
Hey, Sean, Pat Rooney, Boulder Daily Camera. When you came in, going back a little more than a year and a half ago or so, not even, you really had to kind of rebuild both rosters. To go through that process, what do you credit to kind of getting the programs back to this point, top 10, top 20 nationally?
Yeah, I think it's been, when I got here, we had a few leaders on both the men and women's side that stuck around and committed to kind of building this the way we wanted to. And so big credit to them. And then, we retooled a lot. We brought in a lot of transfers and a lot of new freshmen, fresh faces, to kind of get the culture to back to where we want it to be. Right? There's a level of talent that's required in all sports to compete for national title. But then there's a cultural development that has to happen within your program to be at that level. And I think we've taken a massive step over the last year in both those categories. And it's obviously being reflected in the results. And the results they're typically a reflection of what's going on in the program, both recruiting and culture. And you see it go in the right direction. And I think, coming even into next year, we only lose one on both the men's and women's side, our entire top 10, and we'll bring in more talent. And so it's just going to keep rolling. And again, big credit to the people that we have here for buying into what we're doing.
Lincoln Roach, Scobuff Sports, coming into 2 years into a program with a very storied legacy. There's always the question of, will the new coach be able to keep it going? 2 years in, where you're at with the success of the program, how do you think that helps the future going forward with things like recruiting?
Yeah, success breeds success for sure, and anytime you get a new coach, there is always some hesitancy of whether they can keep that going or rebuild it, whatever, type of program you're in. Colorado has had obviously a history of success in men's, women's cross country. We had a few hard years before I got here compared to the standard here, which is very different than most places. And I think we've got it going back the right direction. It certainly helps with recruiting, but I think the main thing, as in every sport right now, recruiting has changed, just drastically. Aside from the money standpoint, just the makeup of our sport is changing from where people are recruiting. 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, our sport was a very different percentage of Americans versus internationals, and it's kind of flipped. And so, we have to continue to adjust and adapt to the new ways of the NCAA because, if you don't grow, you die, and we're going to do what we have to continue to do in recruiting to, compete for a national title.
in that vein, you just mentioned you're not going to lose many people for next year. How much of part of your message is for your athletes to absorb this? Because when you're competing for national championships, I mean, everything matters. So they're going to get this opportunity, and then you're going to roll into next year with the same group of, student athletes for the most part who were here. So how important is it to just kind of take in the little things this time around?
Yeah, we kind of talk to our kids a lot about trying to have a lack of entitlement and earning everything in our program. I think that's a really important thing in any program, regardless of the sport. Like, I think I listened to a press conference with Kirby Smart the other day, and he was like, it's not here just to get checks. You got to hit hard, right? And I think that's every sport. It's you have to earn your keep, whether that's playing time or being on the starting line at the national meet. And, we have a group that's going to be on the starting line at the national meet this year, and we're really, really excited about them, and they're in a really good position. But they're going to have to go earn that next year too, because we're not going to stop recruiting. We're going to be better next year, and those people will be on the starting line because they got better a year from now, not because they stayed the same.
Coach, it's always such a quick turnaround between regionals and nationals. How do you kind of approach that with your team? And then just along those lines, for personnel, I saw Isaiah Givens didn't run last week. Is he out, or is he someone you might get back this week?
Yeah, so, we've tried to be very strategic about how we approach the postseason. I think we're the only school in the country that rested 2 of our top 5 on the men's side, and we think that provides us an advantage. 2 10Ks in 8 days, it takes a massive toll on you emotionally and physically. And there are certain people that we felt would benefit from, basically training through that period of time. Isaiah's primarily been a miler here, and so we thought it'd be an advantage to have to not run 2 10Ks. We really think he can hit 1 10K really, really well, and we're going to save it for the national meet. Same thing on the women's side. We sat Ashley Jones, and so you don't get brownie points or any pats on the back for winning the regional meet. It's cool that day, and then after that, nobody remembers it. People are going to look at the national meet, and that's kind of always going to be our priority. And so we kind of just did exactly what we had to do at the regional meet and nothing more, so that we can go into nationals a little bit rested and a little bit better prepared, because that's probably one of the more unique turnarounds in track and cross country in our sport of being able to run 2 10Ks really hard in 8 days. Yeah.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.